all my college football fanatics out there, welcome to another segment of the Buckeye Vinny YouTube channel sports show, my friends. Let's just jump right into this video without a doubt. When you think of college football rivals, without a doubt for me, Ohio State and Michigan, a bitter rival. You might also think of Auburn and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Very good rivalry there. And also Oklahoma versus Texas. But my friends, check out this rivalry. We are talking about the Georgia Bulldogs and the Florida Gators. A very physical rivalry. And for what I hear from talking to a lot of my Georgia Dog friends out there, it is a bitter rivalry. So, my friends, when you stop and look at this, we are talking about in the last 7 seasons, and I'm dating it back from 2017 to last year, 2023, the Georgia Bulldogs has owned the Florida Gators, beating them 6 out of the last 7 seasons. Wow. Dating back 2017, it was Kirby Smart's second season as the head coach, where he beat up on the Gators 42-7. 2018, Georgia had their way again, beating Florida 36-17. 2019, beating Florida in a nail-biter 24-17. In the famous 2020 year, the Gators beat Georgia 44-28. 2021, the Gators national championship, beating Florida 34-7. Just a year later, Georgia repeating as national champions in 2022, defeating Florida 42-20 in a runaway. And just last season, beating the Gators 43-20. So, my friends, when you look at this, the last 3 meetings has been no contest. It has been lights out, TKO, first round for the Georgia Bulldogs over the Florida Gators. You know, you stop and look at this. Tremendous football coach, Coach Kirby Smart, all-time record versus the Florida Gators since he's been the head coach for the Georgia Bulldogs. A very impressive 6 wins and only 2 losses. Now, you know, in case you're wondering and might be asking yourself, you know, how good have some of these Florida teams been? Well, let me tell you this. In 2018, the Gators were ranked number 9 in the country. In 2019, the Gators were ranked number 6. And in 2020, Florida was ranked number 8. So, my friends, these are very good Florida Gator teams that the Georgia Bulldogs were defeating, and defeating handily. Now, you look at the overall record between these two rich in tradition football programs, and Georgia has owned the overall record, beating the Florida Gators 56 wins, 44 losses, and 2 ties. Now, my friends, these 2 teams got it on. You have to go all the way back to 1904, where it was the first time Georgia and the Florida Gators ended up meeting, first time ever, 1904, where Georgia defeated the Florida Gators handily, beating up on them 52-0. So, you know, my friends, you look at this, you know, this is a very heated rivalry, to say the least. I think it is a great SEC conference rival, without a doubt. You know, everybody wants to think it's always Georgia and Alabama. Well, you know, at one time I thought that, but that's not the rivalry, my friends. Now, are they the 2 best teams in the SEC conference? Georgia and Alabama? Hands down, yes, they are. You know, you stop and look in the past 6, 7 years, okay? It has been Georgia and Alabama coming out of the SEC. Now, you know, now when you look, and I mentioned some classic rivalry football games, and, you know, I mentioned a few already. Without a doubt, my Buckeyes and the team up north, a very heated and hated rivalry. Like I mentioned, Alabama and Auburn, Oklahoma versus Texas, okay? But you have to look at this rivalry. Now, my friends, you know, a good sign of a rivalry is how many years have these two teams been playing. And like I mentioned, it has been over 100 years. In fact, 102 times these two teams have met. Once again, Georgia winning 56 out of the 102 times. And they did tie twice. So, my friends, you know, I just did this video because how many times I have heard from, like I mentioned, my dog friends out there, that it is a very heated and hated rivalry. And, you know, again, not being an SEC guy, being a Big Ten guy, being an Ohio State diehard fan, you know, it took me a little while to research the SEC, and it took me a little while to find out who was truly the big-time rival coming out of the SEC. And my friends, hands down, it is Georgia and the Florida Gators. And you know, like I said, my friends, they've had some major games in their history of this Dawgs versus Gators matchup. I mean, some heated games, some games that came right down to the wire. Look at 2019. The Georgia Bulldogs won that game, but it was a nail-biter, 24-17. That's a one-possession game. But overall, the Georgia Bulldogs, like I mentioned, has owned this rivalry versus the Florida Gators, once again, defeating Florida 6 out of the last 7 meetings. And, you know, it's just one of those things that it comes down to a very strong SEC conference. Like I've always mentioned, the SEC, the best conference in all of power college football conferences. And, you know, it comes down to this when you break it down, okay? Now, at one time, Florida had Georgia's number. And when was that? Well, you'll probably have to go back to the Urban Meyer days when he coached the Gators, okay? But once again, my friends, I am doing basically the present time from 2017 to 2023. Once again, Georgia defeating the Gators 6 out of the last 7 seasons. Wow. My friends, if you are new to my channel, Buckeye Vinny here welcomes you. Thank you for tuning in. Please click on that subscribe button. Always free to do so. If you like this video, which I hope you all do, please click on the like button. And like always, please click on the bell notification so that when my video pops up, you will be notified. And like always, please comment down below, not only if you like this video or not, but please comment how you feel about this Georgia Bulldogs and Florida Gators rivalry. Like always, my friends, peace out. God bless. That's all Buckeye Vinny has for today. I am out of here.